The abyss had no mercy. It swallowed my name. It buried my hope. It chained my soul. But even in that silence, something stirred. Not the voice of the gods, not the comfort of forgiveness, but a whisper rising from the ashes. A whisper that said, "Rise." Again. It was faint, barely audible, but it cut through the void like a blade. And once I heard it, I knew the gods had failed. For even in breaking me, they left me one thing they could not kill: the will to rise. The fire that once devoured me no longer consumes me. It bends, it obeys, it feeds me. Every scar that burned with agony now burns with power. Every wound that once wept blood now glows like molten steel. I was ash, but ash is not the end. Ash is the soil where fire is born again. The gods thought their forge would leave me broken. They thought their hammer would leave me shattered, but they forgot. The more you strike steel, the sharper it becomes. And so here I stand, not shattered, not destroyed, but reforged. From the abyss, I rise. The ground trembles beneath my feet. The chains that once bound me now drag behind me, broken, rattling like war drums in the silence. The gods watch, but they do not strike. They cannot, for they see what I have become. No longer servant, no longer sacrifice, no longer their plaything in the forge. I am rebellion, and rebellion does not beg for permission. It takes its first step with defiance. It breathes before it is ready. It fights before it is strong. And in that defiance, the gods know their mistake, because they did not forge a weapon for themselves. They forged a weapon that now stands against them. Hear me, gods, you who struck me with silence, you who buried me in chains, you who hammered me with fire. I endured your abyss, I carried your weight, I bled beneath your hammer, and still I rise. You call this defiance? Yes, but it is more. It is prophecy. For every warrior you abandoned, for every soul you buried, for every prayer you silenced, I rise for them. I rise for the forgotten. I rise for the broken. I rise for the ones who never saw the dawn. And I swear this vow, I will not kneel again. I will not bow again. Not before gods, not before men, not before fate itself. The abyss taught me despair. The fire taught me endurance. The silence taught me patience. But together, they taught me this: I cannot be destroyed. You may bury me. I will become the foundation. You may chain me. I will turn chains into weapons. You may silence me. I will roar louder than thunder. The gods do not forgive. The gods do not save. But in their cruelty, in their arrogance, they have created their undoing. For I am no longer their victim. I am their rebellion. I am their storm. I am their fire turned against them. Do not mistake this rise for an ending. This is the beginning. Rebellion does not roar at first. It whispers in the ashes. It whispers in the silence. And then it becomes thunder. For every warrior lost in darkness, for every soul chained in silence, and for every body broken by the forge, I rise for you. I will be your fire. I will be your blade. I will be your defiance. And when the gods hear the sound of my name, they will tremble. Because what they tried to destroy, what they tried to bury, what they tried to erase, has risen, not as servant, not as slave, not as mortal, but as the weapon the gods themselves fear. The ashes did not mark my end. The ashes marked my beginning.